show. Thank you for joining us. I'm David Franklin in New Mexico.
Sorry to again. I hope everyone's doing well. And I want to wish everyone all the men out there who are fathers, a happy Father's Day today. I hope it was enjoyable. And maybe you had a nice lunch or breakfast or dinner, got to relax a little. That's always nice to do.
Yes, indeed. We'll have a good show and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Tonight's show is set season 7, episode 5, What's Going Right in America. And we're going to look at the past week and events and what look forward to in the upcoming week. We're also focused on the positive developments going on. Thanks to the Biden administration and Democrats across the country as we forge ahead in the 2024 presidential election cycle. Welcome to the podcast. We're glad that you're here tonight. Nothing but positivity tonight, and we will focus on what's going on good in America, like I said. Call in 515-605-9802. Press 1 to speak live on air, and wait until the host acknowledges you before speaking. Say your first name and where you're calling in from, and shouting will not be tolerated anymore, regardless of who it is. We can agree to disagree without name calling and screaming. So if you want a confrontation and mayhem, go to a right wing podcast, as we're very hard. We're not into the screaming and shouting at each other. Our show is about enlightening and educating and informing the average person who doesn't follow politics on a daily basis. So glad to have 113 countries worldwide tuning in weekly as well. And thanks for sharing across social media and by word of mouth. So visit our website at kitchenpolitics123.com. And you can also subscribe to YouTube. We're live on YouTube. And I'm the one live now, but we're going to figure it out. So Lori and I can share a split screen. And you can subscribe to the podcast at blogtalkradio.com/progressive talk go. This is Kitchen Politics 123. It is Sunday, June 16, 2024. We're not anti-social, just anti-stupid. Episode number 1234-7249. Original air date, Sunday, June 16, 2024. Let's get cooking. Okay, Lori. So Joe Biden is doing well. And this economy is, most jobs since the 1930s, Depression era. And, I'm so proud of this man as president of the United States, and we should all be proud of him, really.
Absolutely. We really should. Think about this for a moment. President Biden was in France last week. He came home, came back. That was when Hunter Biden's trial was going on. He was in France. He came back to, the news. And then, we all saw the picture of him, hugging son. So he came back. And then, that was after the guilty conviction. And then he went off to Italy for the G7 meeting. Was there for the weekend.
Yes.
And then he took a 13-hour trip back to California for a fundraiser and raised over $30 million. That was last night.
Yes.
So his daily schedule is brutal. And don't forget the campaign as well. So, I don't see how anyone can say that this man doesn't have it together, because he does. And he has energy. He is loved everywhere he goes. This man is loved by all the other presidents around the country, the prime ministers around the world, I should say. And here in this country, they have nothing to say except Sleepy Joe, which is a bunch of crap. So none of that is true. President Biden has done, just like you said, he's done an awesome job. And I can't wait until November so that he can win and we can never see Trump again. That's what I want.
Yes, that was so good. Donald Trump should be in prison for what he did. And You know, it's a sad commentary, really, for people who still support him after all we've been through. You know, and it's just a sad commentary, really. You know, because American can do better than this. You know, and you know he is not fit to be president. You know, he's proven it time and time again. Mhm. Yes, yes. Okay, so yeah, not even dog catcher. He's not worthy of the presidency. You know, he's the first president of the United States, or former president, to be indicted 34 times and found guilty. You know, and he was cooking his books. He got caught, and any other person who did that would have been in prison by now. You know, so yeah, it's just sad all around that he's getting special treatment. There's a two-tier justice system, and you know that shouldn't be. You know, what happened to the regular folks out there who, you know, do the same thing basically, and when they're on trial, they have to wait in the prison cell. You know, and yeah, it's just sad, really. So we're gonna take your calls now. 515-605-9802. Say your first name, where you're calling in from. We're glad to have everybody here, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, NPA, which is no party affiliation, independent, socialist, whoever. Call in, tell us what you think. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's cooking?
I guess it must be me then. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Oh, good, good.
Hi, Kathy. How
Hello,
are you?
Kathy.
Hey, I'm good. How's everybody over there tonight?
Oh, good, good. We're just live streaming. I don't know if you can see the live stream, but you know, so far I'm the only person live streaming. I don't see anybody in the chat rooms and comment section yet, but you know, I guess it's new to everybody. So if you're nearby a computer, just hop on, and you know, hopefully you can see me. Okay, so Kathy, what's going on in Florida as it relates to the campaign for president and you know statewide elections and what have you?
Oh, well, I went into town today because I had to pick up my prescriptions, and you wouldn't believe the houses that I passed. It said Trump 2024, fuck your feelings, flags flying proudly out front. People wearing the same shirts in town. Really, you got to be at the grocery store or for kids here. It was ridiculous.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, it's Florida.
She handled Better Trumpy in public parking lot today because she immediately started calling me names.
Wow.
Why? Because when I parked, her mirror was one of the ones on her truck that stick out like 2 feet. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Well, I guess my mirror was a little bit close to her on my passenger side. So I get out and I hear, "You stupid bitch! Look how you park." And I turn around and I was like, she goes, "Yeah, you." And I said, "Excuse me." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I can move my truck." And she goes, "Well, fine, because how else would I have? How else would I be able to get out, you dumb bitch?" I said, "Oh well." Now wait a minute. Now I don't usually go there. And I said, "All right, you caught me in the right mood." And I said, "Well, ma'am, I had no problem getting out that truck door. Maybe you need to lose 50 pounds."
Right.
And I'm like, "Wow, really?" In the meantime, we had an audience, and everybody was laughing at her because she was an idiot.
Good for you, Kathy. You know, these people just think that they rule the world. They can park wherever they want with their big freaking trucks. And, you know, if you don't step on the gas the second that red light turns green, God help you. You know? So my sure flies. Let's put it that way.
We were both in a parking space, too. I don't understand what her damn problem was, but, you know, I said, "You know what? You ain't worth my time, so you be gone. Wherever the hell you're going there, my truck's moved. Get your fat ass out of it. I'm going in the store."
Good for you. That's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous indeed. People are just ignorant. People are just ignorant, really.
I tried to post this to the page, but it would only come up as Twitter. But somebody had posted it on there, and outside is a fundraiser in LA for Biden. They found a loaded handgun on the ground.
Really?
Yeah, because there was a picture of a cop picking it up, and they said that he pulled the magazine out of it. It was a pistol of some sort. But yeah, but the gun was loaded, laying on the sidewalk.
Really? No. Okay.
Yeah. If I find it again, but I'll just have to look for it on regular Google or one of those other ones, because I couldn't find it. It just kept coming up as Twitter. Wow. Yeah, I'm like, really, people? Oh yeah, the Palestinians out there waving their flags and chanting. They said the police were in full protective gear because they didn't know what the protest was going to involve, especially after finding the gun.
Wow. It was probably one of the protesters that dropped the gun.
That's possible.
Yeah, Laura, check your Facebook private messages. I just sent you a message. If you're near your computer, go on and it's go to the link that I posted on my Facebook page. So you could see what live looks like on YouTube. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about what Biden. The German chancellor, his name is Olaf Scholz, was speaking. He had a TV interview, and he went on to say that Biden knows exactly what he's doing, and he will likely win election as the German chancellor. So, in an interview on the sidelines of the G7 summit, Olaf Scholz made assurances that Biden can provide critical leadership as a group of global leaders faces a complex web of mounting issues. And he went on to say that Biden's mental health, his acuity, and the sector is absolutely spot on. He's very sharp, and he should return to office. He also said that he's, like I said, he knows exactly what he's doing. He can provide critical leadership as a group of global leaders, like I said, the web of issues. So, even the German chancellor, when he was speaking to President Biden, and when President Biden spoke, even he understood that President Biden is doing a fantastic job, not only in America, but around the globe where he goes. He is respected and loved. Even with the Pope, the Pope hugging him, and they spoke. He's the man that we need hopefully for 4 more years. He's what we need. He's got to finish the job.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
And he also went on to say, just one last thing, David. I think that Joe Biden is someone who's very clear, who knows exactly what he is doing, and who is the most experienced politician. He is one of the most experienced politicians in the world, especially when it comes to international politics. Shows that presence at the G7 conference. In a situation like this, where a war is taking place right here in Europe after Russia invaded Ukraine, where many, many other conflicts raging around the world, this is an asset, a good thing. And therefore, I can only say that this is a man who exactly knows what he is doing. I don't know what more people want from this president. I just don't. The rhetoric and the lies that are on Facebook and in social media,
right?
And sleeping people. Well, guess who Sleepy Joe is? not Joe Biden. At least he's Donald.
Yes, indeed. And Donald Trump, he has a reputation of calling people's names. And, that's not presidential. How's that presidential? You didn't see Ronald Reagan doing that. You didn't see Ike or JFK or LBJ doing that. It's just atrocious and appalling that this man is being considered to be president of the United States. And Republicans, their convention is going to start July 15th. And July 11th is when Donald Trump faces a judge to see what his punishment is. And hopefully it's jail time. But I will hold my breath for that because we all know that he's getting special treatment. And, imagine if it was Hillary Clinton who did that.
We know she never would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She never would.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is a glass under himself.
Mm-hmm.
Never anybody like him and never will be again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No. Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
Yeah.
And also, Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
She also Vice President Kamala Harris announces a $1.5 billion in Ukraine aid. Money will go towards securing the country's energy infrastructure, as well as providing humanitarian assistance. Has pledged more than $1.5 billion in aid for Ukraine's energy sector and its humanitarian situation amid its ongoing war with Russia. Harris made the announcement at summit in Lucerne, Switzerland, where she met Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky. She's expected to address the summit later. This war remains an utter failure for the Russian President Vladimir Putin said during a bilateral meeting with Zelensky. So she is also on the move. Kamala Harris, I believe, is very experienced. She is smart, very, very intelligent. She's well spoken, and she's a good vice president. She's really taken on the stage in the world stage. I'm very proud of her as well.
Yes, indeed. There's no. What do you think about these Republicans, right? Who, like Trump went to Capitol Hill last week, and they're all around him, and it was just this big circle jerk, of them praising him and lauding him, and kissing his ring, basically, And what's your feeling about that? What was your reaction when you first saw it?
I think, in my opinion, all of them, all those that were around him, basically were a disgrace. They're a disgrace to humanity. They're a disgrace to their service to our country. They're a disgrace to their job. They're a disgrace to themselves. They're a disgrace to their family, to their children, to spouses, and anyone connected with them. I mean, anyone that stands in the same room with this moron. I don't know what else I could say, but I won't. And anyone that stands in the room with him, they seem like they're trying to get his attention so that he licks their face or something, or praises them. What is wrong with these people? What happened to them in their lives that they follow a disgraceful, disgusting person like him? I will not call him human anymore because he's not. So I don't know what else to say. Except they're a disgrace to our country. Every single last one of them.
Yeah.
Somebody posted a picture today of a gentleman in Publix shopping, and on the back of his shirt, I voting for the film.
Wow.
I'm not like, oh no, I posted that one. Yeah,
What I don't understand is, so are these people that say they're mostly the felons? Do they have no honor? Do they not care about the rule of law? Do they not care about our country? Do they not care about the family that lives in this country?
Nah.
Aren't they showing their children that you can break the law and you can still run for president? What does that tell children? What does it tell these young adults? What kind of a signal is that? What is it?
There's lack of character, and there's no shame in Republicans' game, and this is not the party of Ike or even Reagan or even Nixon. That part has long gone. It's in the past and everything. You think Nixon was bad? This guy Donald Trump is the worst of the lot. And when the world looks and see that America is like this, they generalize and think, oh, geez, how can Americans be so irresponsible? Republicans especially, trying to put this man up to be president of the United States after what he did his first 4 years in his one term as president. He shouldn't be taken seriously. He should have been taken away in a straitjacket, and he should be put in a padded cell, because the level of crazy talk he does at his Nazi-like rallies, basically, it would make anybody cringe, anybody worthy, or with any self-respect or any dignity, cringe. Recently he was talking about trees, and this is what Donald Trump said. Trees fall down after a short period of time, about 18 months. They become very dry. They become really like a matchstick, and they get up. There's no water pouring through, and they become very, very, they just explode. They can explode. That is so incoherent and stupid and ignorant. Not even SNL could write a script this dumb. My God, are you kidding me? Oh my God. Anyway, let's take some more calls. 515-605-9802. Say your first name and where you're calling in from. We're glad to have everybody here, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. In this world, we'll have our children, and it's our job to take care of them and be responsible for them and teach them, the right things to do. Be courteous to people, be nice to people. And I guess Donald Trump, his parents did a real crappy job in raising him, because look what we have now. He has no respect for anybody. He cares only about himself. He's willing to throw everybody and anybody under the bus who testify on his behalf. Look what he did to Michael Cohen, for example, his fixer and enabler for over 20 years as his lawyer. Donald Trump is only loyal to Donald Trump, and I wish people out there who vote for him and support him and send him money almost daily, get the picture that he's not the right person for the job. And God knows what Vladimir Putin and Russian Duma, what secrets they have on Donald Trump, Okay, next call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's cooking?
Good evening. It was a wonderful day today for all the fathers, the single fathers, and even the single mothers that have to be fathers. Congratulations to them all.
Yes.
Children are not easy to raise.
No, they're not.
Going back to the subject, I took that video of the Republicans at Mar-a-Lago, and I'm able to do it on my TV with the service that I paid for, and I ran it frame by frame by frame. There wasn't a smile in the whole bunch. They were there. You've been to a party or a gathering like that, and you're shaking someone's hand. You're smiling. Not these people. Not one of those Republicans was smiling. Not one. They have got themselves so far down the rabbit hole, I don't think they know which end is up.
Yeah.
Yep. That was my observation of that video of them at Mar-a-Lago. The other thing that I am very pleasantly happy about is the different road signs that are going up across the country. Have you happened to notice them on social media? Calling him a fraud, bringing attention January 6th, calling him a traitor. I'm absolutely elated about seeing those. Soon I'll be traveling down I-75, and I can't wait to see our anti-Trump road sign at the 75 at the around the Birch Run area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for here in New Mexico. In New Mexico, New Mexico, as you know, is blue, but up north is very Republican. So we had primaries last week, and we had both parties do the primaries and everything. So the stage is set for the showdown, November 5th, 2024. And we're not expecting any Republicans to win big, only up north, really, because, a lot of Republican supporters are up there, Trump supporters are up there. And I'm glad that, New Mexico is blue. I don't think anytime soon that will change to support people like Trump or even Republicans. The last Republican governor we had was Mrs. Martinez, and she was a horrible, horrible governor. And Michigan is doing well with Gretchen Whitmer, and she has a legislature that is majority Democrat. So Michigan is moving in the right direction because, the governor before her was very bad, and he was responsible for the Flint water crisis. He covered it up for 2 years and tried to cover the whole thing. And again, treatment by, the justice system, where if it was a regular person who did that, they'll be in prison. But no, politicians are protected, lobbyists are protected, different people out there. Once you have money, you're protected, corporations especially. And this is why people are fed up with the system. You can't have this system where, one set of rules is for regular people. Another set of rules, which is no rules, is for the elite. It turns a lot of people off from politics. And what we see in the last presidential cycle is 101 million people, or 101, I don't remember. But let's just say a lot of people didn't come out and vote, in 2020. I want to try to change that, because if you don't vote and you stay home, that's a vote for Trump. If you vote third party, that's a vote for Trump. Joe Biden by far is not a perfect person, but he's the best that we'll have right now. And he's shown for the past 4 years that he's good and competent, with what he's passed, the Build Back Better program, the infrastructure, CHIPS program, all those things. Joe Biden is doing good. And Democrats are putting things forward in terms of getting things done. Republicans, all they're for is giving tax cuts to the wealthy. And that's it, basically. And America don't want that. We have a $7 trillion deficit because of Donald Trump. So, we need to get things in order, prioritize, and put people first, because that's what Americans need, not tax cut for the wealthy and corporations. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the next thing that we'll talk about before we take the next caller is, so the Vice President Kamala Harris announced a $1.5 billion aid to Ukraine, like you said. We've been through that. What do you think about the face-off coming up on CNN next week? We're going to have the first debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Do you think Trump will withdraw at the last minute? Or do you think that he's going to show up and just make a fool of himself like he usually does?
I go for option B.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. No, I when they shut the microphones off, I picture Trump walking across the stage and grabbing Biden's microphone and yelling into it.
Uh-huh.
I don't even look for him to do that. I look for him to just step around the podium and open his big mouth.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that too. I pictured that one too. That's so true, Ken. Kathy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. And you know, the thing that's going to kill him is that once they are asked the question and they answer the is speaking coherently and calmly, Trump is going to not be able to speak. He won't be able to talk in his microphone. It'll be cut off.
Exactly.
So what I'm wondering is, I do remember when Hillary and their debate, and he walked around her trying to intimidate her, like going in circles around her. And I thought that the commentator, the one that was asking the question, should have told him to stop. I really do. Because that was the rudest thing. Not that I think it bothered her. She didn't say anything, but it's just rude. You know, he was trying to intimidate her on top of everything else. You know,
typical Donald Trump. He's a bully. He's a yeah. Well, I was remember.
We have more experience under our belt now, and I don't think that's going to happen. And if the moderator doesn't say anything, I could just see Joe Biden turning around and saying, "Hey, pal, what's your problem?"
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Biden will keep his cool about it, but he will make his point.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I do too. I think he'll make his point, and I think he'll say, you know, and the thing is that he doesn't have to say cool as a cucumber, you know. He can, you know, he can start back at him. He doesn't have to, you know, use swear words or cuss words or whatever, but he can start back at him. There's no reason why he can't.
Right,
you know?
right.
I mean, come on. He's got to show strength, and he has to show that he's not afraid of him. He's not intimidated by him. He's not intimidated by his dumbness and his big orange mouth. That's what President Biden has to do.
So, Lori, are you on YouTube at the moment, and are you seeing me?
Yeah.
Is the audio okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yes, man. So, Elaine and Kathy, if you are near a computer and everything, just go to my page and click to the link, the YouTube link, and you'll see the picture come up and everything. I have a split screen here currently, and we're working on getting Lori on. Hopefully by next week, we'll have a split screen, so viewers out there who tune into YouTube can see us live as we speak about the issues. And Thursday coming up, that's the 20th, we'll have Sylvia Dore. He is running for the state senate in the state of Florida in District 9. He'll be our special guest. He's a doctor by profession. And you know, he is in a deep red state, and you know, we need to win back Florida. We need to win places like Georgia. We need to win places like Texas. You know, those are big electoral college votes and everything. You know, the swing states, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, you know, and North Carolina is considered a swing state. It's in the playing. You know, we need to, you know, really clamp down and go from door to door and on social media and all over to make sure that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris get a second term, because we've been dire straits if Donald Trump gets a second term, a second non-consecutive term. The only president who has ever done that was Grover Cleveland. He was the 22nd and 24th president. You know, so it's been done before, and we're hoping that, you know, Donald Trump will win a second non-consecutive term. Okay, number 515-605-9802. Say your first name, where you're calling in from. This other caller has been holding a long time. I promise we'll get to you shortly. So Steve Bannon will be subjected to a cavity search when he gets into prison, and whoever it is that draws a short straw, you know, will be the one who's been the unluckiest human being in history to cavity search him. You know, I can't picture the whole visual of that made me want to puke. I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. You know, imagine cavity searching this goon. Oh man.
And he never looks like he takes a bath or a shower.
Yeah.
He always looks disgustingly dirty and scummy.
Mm-hmm.
He really does.
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you, but David, I got that screen. I'm watching you now.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
Oh, nice. So you see the split screen and everything. Let's take this new call and everything. Thank you for being patient, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your first name? What's cooking?
This is Naj, man. What's going on, y'all?
Oh, Naj from Georgia. Hello. Long time no speak, man. Welcome.
Yes, indeed. Good to see y'all still got it going.
Mm-hmm.
And hitting the note, be hit,
Yeah.
But to that point about Nixon, Nixon was actually more dangerous. If Nixon had the elite of his followers that Trump did, my God, there was some danger out here because he's actually a really smart guy.
Uh-huh.
So this ad would have been a dangerous thing. And the only reason I brought that up was to go back to your Bannon point.
Mm-hmm.
As bad as Trump is, remember Bannon is funding right-wing movements and South and Central America, and we saw what he's done here. So even if Trumpism died, Bannon is still going to be a problem because of the money he made, from TV and everything else over the years. He can really throw his weight around and cause a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Steve Bannon, we really need to make sure we keep a watch on him. And he's not, as sloppy as he is. Remember, he's a really smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
Evil smart, but a smart guy. So you got to watch him.
Yeah.
Agree totally.
Totally agree with you, Naj.
Do you think that, we have a chance in Georgia to have it be maybe purple or turn blue?
I think purple is the most likely outcome. Again, it's the gains from Stacey Abrams over the years and her organizing the groups that are down here. This Cop City situation where you got a young left that's kind of into politics now in a way that they hadn't been in Georgia. But again, the Republicans in Georgia are just depending on South Georgia, period. All rural towns down here with really small populations, and then Atlanta, where basically everybody is in Georgia. That's straight up blue. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yes. Listen to all the people mocking others who actually take the time to learn what is really going on instead of just believing everything they're told to think. You should be embarrassed and ashamed that you don't look into anything else, and that you should have absolutely zero clue of what is actually going on when all the facts are right in front of you. All the facts are just a click away. If you keep watching Fox News and all the right-wing media outlets, they lie. And that is why they're being sued, Fox News, for the Diebold system, the voting system, where, they lied basically and was pushing the narrative that, the election was stolen and was an unfair election. They need to do better than that. And what we need is the fairness doctrine back, because when Reagan came in, the first thing he did was remove the fairness doctrine. So that gave leeway to Fox News. The Fox News came into existence in 1996. They went after Bill Clinton with gusto, like never seen before, and from then right until to this day, every time they just keep getting worse and worse every election cycle. We need to take Texas back. Colin Allred, he'll face Ted Cruz. Ruben Gallego is going against Republican Kari Lake, another election denier. Arizona is so important. That's John McCain's old seat. And in Florida, Debbie Mucarsel Powell, she's running to defeat Rick Scott in Florida. Rick Scott is the same one who ripped off Medicare, or Medicaid, was it? And the very next year, what did Florida do? Vote him in as governor. So now he's U.S. Senator. And Gloria Johnson is going against Marsha Blackburn, another Trumper in Texas. She's a U.S. Senator from Texas. And we need to go to Act Blue and donate to Gloria Johnson. Nevada seat is up for grabs. Jackie Rosen is up for re-election, and her Republican opponent is Sam Brown, a MAGA. He's an ultimate MAGA person, a worshiper. So recently, Newsmax called out Taylor Swift for over the top her and elevating her to an idol status because the Bible says it's a sin to worship a celebrity. They're the ones who should talk. Look what they're doing to Trump, the way to worship him and bow down to him.
Yeah, no.
You know?
The only thing don't do is kiss his feet in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I have to laugh this because Trump was in Detroit and he went into this city. He went into a church and he was saying afterwards, he had like a press conference or whatever, but he was saying that how many black people were in there supporting them. And it's so funny because somebody did it, and it was not. It was the opposite. There were more white people and a few black people in there, not like he says. So, thank goodness for people that have their cell phones and, they're videoing different events and different things so that we can see who's lying. Most of the time, it's him. 99.9% of the time, he's lying when he opens his mouth.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting. And, here's, touting that. And, the other thing is that what makes me upset about that whole thing, where he can go into a church and he can do a political speech, or even not a speech. With him, it's a rally. And these churches do not pay any taxes. That is not fair. It is separation of church and state. And he does not belong in any church, talking to or parishioners, whatever they are, or whatever reason they were there, being or not. That's what the church is supposed to be for, and they're all taking advantage of that. And a lot of churches are taking advantage of that. And they need to crack down on that. I think somebody would make a bill for that.
Speaking of churches, Lori, America's 10 richest pastors, you know what a network is? Net worth. I'll go through them. Joyce Meyer is worth $8 million. Juanita Bynum is worth $9 million. Bishop T.D. Jakes is worth $18 million. Rick Warren is worth $25 million. Franklin Graham is worth $25 million. Cranford Dollar is worth $27 million. Joel Osteen is worth $40 million. Benny Hinn is worth $42 million. Pat Robertson, may he burn in hell. He and his ministry is worth $100 million. But the biggest one is Kenneth Copeland. He's worth $760 million. And the last show we spoke about Kenneth Copeland and Joel Osteen. And Copeland has 4 private jets. And according to 1924, it says, again, I tell you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for someone who is rich to enter the kingdom of God. So these people who call themselves evangelicals and bishops and pastors and everything, just ask yourself this question. What would Jesus do? Would he be going around driving the latest Ferrari that worth $750,000? Would he live in a $10 million mansion? Jesus was a humble person, and for them to preach the gospel and do the opposite of what the gospel is, then, that's nothing short of blasphemous and everything, because you have to live the life of Christ. Not saying you should be poor, and have ragged clothes and not live somewhere nice, but to have 4, private jets and a whole string of cars in collection and houses across the country, that's not godly. That's not being Christian. Look at your parishioners. Are they suffering? Do Do they need help?
Oh, of course. Many of them do. Do they reach out to them? Highly doubt it.
Well, we late Trump early 90s.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Did Trump pick a church at random? In other words, did he randomly pick a church, or did he contact a particular church? Because I've been trying information. Here it is, Detroit, Michigan, 18 miles from Detroit, and I can't find out anything. I'm wondering if you happen to find out something.
No, but just give it a couple weeks. This will be essentially looked at a pop-up church, the same way you would do a pop-up restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of look at it from that standpoint. So, Ben Carson and company were there, all of the typical scoundrels who are grifting,
Right.
doing their thing. But just realize, like, an important part of conversation, no matter what, is what you're trying to communicate and who you're communicating to, right? When we're talking about Trump outreach to black people, we're not actually talking about black people. What we're talking about is to soothe the conscience of his supporters and say, see, I'm not racist. Look, we tried to appeal to these people. So that's the whole selling point of all of it. And that's why when the video came out, we saw all the parishioners who were majority white in this so-called black churches. It just kind of gives the game away. But they're just so shameless in how they're willing to do this, like hand-fisted fake outreach that, we're going to get events like this. I'm still amazed that they're responding to people online as if this was a legitimate thing. And of course, the same woman who was at Chick-fil-A in Atlanta and met him and was at the other event, she was there. That same black woman. So, there's going to be black grifters out here who understand what the game is. They can monitor Trump supporters for foolishness, and they're going to do it. But it has no bearing on voting.
Well, here's where I'm coming from. We all know that churches usually are in an area where predominantly the homes that are in that area of that church are either salt and pepper or mostly white or mostly black or people of color. And this is why I asked the question, which church? I wanted to know what neighborhood was it in.
I actually saw that article. I can't find it because my internet has been giving me fits for the last 2 days. I can't find it again. But I actually did see they actually showed him sitting at a table in the church.
Yeah. But he did two different things yesterday. What he did was he went to the church in Detroit, and I am trying to find it, and they do not have the name of the church. They just say that it is a church in Detroit, but they do not give the name of it. And so from there, he did his little spiel there. It said Trump appeared at a black church, drew a mix of curious local residents and diehard supporters, but little in the way of protest. And then from there, he went to, here it is. Hold on. It's called at the 180 Church on the west side of the city. Trump said that at the 180 Church. That's what it says.
Okay.
On the side of the city. To the west side of Trump sat on stage at a table flanked by a panel of members of the local community, including small business owners and activists. The event was moderated by U.S. Representative Byron Donald, contender for the president, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So that's,
But this is so disingenuous because of the fact I live in Michigan. You live in Michigan, Laurie. And when Trump said he went to a Detroit church,
we are picturing, I know this is what we are picturing, and the rest of the country, Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit. Our west side on the border of some other city.
Right.
Right. And not only that, he didn't have anything really good to say about Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
What's new? I mean, according to him, Detroit and his megals, because I went through it in 2016. I don't know, but they had pictures from war countries, World War II, saying it was Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly.
Yes, again, they're using
like
social media to lie. You know, that's what Trump does, lie. He's a liar. And the people who came out to see...
And social media lets them.
Yeah. That's why they need regulation for social media, for AI, things like that. Because, it's going to get to such a point where it's dangerous,
Yeah, it's a Steve Bannon strategy to flood the zone with lies. So if you're gonna, pick apart each lie, think about how long it's gonna take to be a social media company. How do you actually stop all of these different posts that are being supported by bots and Trump supporters who are reposting it? So, this has always been their game plan. But ultimately, he's gonna get what? Possibly 10%, 11% of the black vote of the country. And those are people who are typically black Republicans no matter what. So that's every election cycle. That has nothing to do with Trump, but he's going to act as if they're making some, this is some kind of stand, and they're making inroads in the community when they're actually not. And I would more than likely bet that he loses some of the support. So we're talking about Mitt Romney numbers, and he's presenting them as if he has support from the community. So it's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, just to also showed up yesterday, Nick Fuentes. Do you guys remember him?
Yes, he's the racist Ku Klux Klan guy. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's a white supremacist. Yeah.
Right.
And I guess the crowd started cheering,
Mm-hmm.
and he was escorted out. So,
Out of where? You're breaking up there. He was where?
yesterday afternoon was from the church. He went to this other hall, I don't know if it's hall or whatever, this other stop that he made. It's called Turning Point, and that's where he came in. Nick Fuentes came in, and some people started cheering for him, and then he was escorted out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. You said Turning like Charlie Kirk's organization, that group, those folks?
I don't know.
Yeah. Turning Point USA. Lori, Turning Point USA. Yeah, Lori, Turning Point USA is not a church. They're an organization. What?
Right. No, they are not.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
they're not for the church.
Yes.
But like I said, he made two different stops yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, so what do you think about...
a Turning Point in Mount Clemens that houses women that have to get away from abusers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Laura and everybody, what do you think about the right wing turning against Dolly Parton? Because I quote Dolly Parton, she said, quote, "A family is a family, whether you're a gay family or a straight family. If that's your family, you should be treated with the utmost respect. And we do that no matter what. I say a good Christian wouldn't be judging anyway. We're supposed to love and accept each other." So because she lives in Tennessee and she have her Dollywood land, and everything, Republicans and right wingers and people who support Trump are turning against her vehemently. They can't cancel Dolly Parton because she's Dolly Parton. There's no way that will happen.
No.
No.
See, I saw her post on that, but I did not see how they attacked her afterward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Verbally attacked her.
On that one.
Yeah, they verbally attacked her and went after her and trying to cancel her. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. She's Dolly Parton. She's untouchable. She's very untouchable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
I read Dolly Parton's book. She don't give a damn. she's going to say what she's going to say, and she knows she's right, and she knows it's the Christian thing to say. And I'm not worried about Dolly Parton. She's a good girl, and she sticks by what's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She is what she is. But the bigger point is, this goes to Trump supporters not really having political acumen like that. The idea that you would go after Dolly Parton serves you in what way? In what way does this actually help Trump supporters? When you think about somebody who's beloved as she is, how much she spent on children's literacy, how much she spent on child poverty in the state of Tennessee. Like, when you don't have enough political things to say, okay, leave her alone, that lets you know who you're dealing with. So, when anybody speaks ill of their, of their superstars, how they react, and they don't think before they act. So
You're right on, because I remember the year they picked on Big Bird, and the Republicans, the newsletter said, "Tyler, stupid. Everybody loves Big Bird."
Yep. Oh yeah. And okay, and they're on Taylor Swift's case as well.
There you go.
As a matter of fact, Trump was
I just
talking
saw
about
another one today on that.
yeah, how beautiful Taylor Swift is, and he's appalling. Okay.
Yeah, I guess he's fantasizing over Taylor Swift now.
What was his purpose when he went there to meet with the Republicans the other day on Capitol Hill or wherever the hell he was at? What's his purpose of fawning all over Taylor besides begging for her vote, obviously?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess. Yeah, she'll never vote for him. That'll never happen. And he's just trying to appeal.
Anything he had to say, she had nothing.
I think his team told him to understand that it's better to play nice with her. The last thing they want is keep pushing her and piss her off, and she really rallied all of those young women. So it's in their best interest to leave her alone and be as nice as possible.
That's right. That's why he was saying. That's why he was saying that. How beautiful she is, and blah blah blah. Who really cares? She doesn't need him.
I hope she endorses Biden and watch the vicious bullshit Trump will say after.
For sure.
We're talking about a voting demographic that we're worried about turnout. We're talking about young folks. So if you show up in numbers, that somebody like Taylor Swift could turn out in addition to what's normally going to show out. So that's a huge sticker. It's really weird to say on a podcast. But when you're talking about that group, come on, this ain't seniors who we know are going to vote. It's young folks.
Hey, there are some of us there just turned 60. I'm a Swiftie myself. And I would. Oh, yes, you can. So, they done already pissed off most of the women, and the young ones are going to follow because of the birth control bullshit and abortion stuff.
I have a question. They're talking. They've been talking about Gen Z, especially Gen Z, that are turning against President Biden, as they say. Now, I don't know if I believe that because I follow a few influencers on Instagram, and it doesn't seem that way. When the ones that I do follow, they are definitely have a lot of followers and etc. So they're saying that they're upset with him because of Gaza, and they're not going to vote for him because of that. Now, they're in college. Now they're out of college, but before they were in college. Now they're out for summer, I am imagining. And maybe to the Russian, the bandwagon and saying this is Biden's fault. And we know it's not his fault. We really do. And now Netanyahu has, I think he promised to not bomb during the day.
Mhm.
I almost